What's up, buddy? What are you doing today? She's pretty friendly. What's up, girl? Hello, beautiful.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing amazing today. Today is part 4 to the wide body install on my Audi S5. Install has been going absolutely crazy. Definitely some bumps in the road here and there, but all in all, it's been going fairly smoothly. Now is going to be one of the harder parts where you got to kind of try to start getting everything to line up perfectly. So today we are going to tackle mounting the rear quarter panels, which basically affects the alignment of everything else because those can't be moved. So once I put those on there, they are rock solid and they can't move. So we have to adjust everything else around them to make sure everything lines up before we get them glued on. So that's what we're going to be tackling in today's video. I did a couple things off camera between now and my last video. Basically all I did was I sealed the seams on the rear quarter panels. Last you guys saw, I tack welded them and then cut everything. I actually went through and did a couple more tacks and cleaned it up so it's a lot stiffer, and then I added some seam sealer. But that's it. Now we're just going to focus on lining up those rear quarter panels, and then we're going to go ahead and start epoxying them. Just to show you guys what I did, so I tacked this up a little bit more, sheared everything off, and then I put this kind of clear seam sealer on here. Pretty good stuff. It dried up. It seems pretty sturdy and it looks good, so we're good there. We're gonna start aligning these rear quarter panels. Once we have everything set perfectly, then we will throw down the glue and we'll clamp them down. Like you guys saw in last video or a couple videos ago, we got these wheels fitted to the car. They look so awesome. This is actually the first time seeing them with the fender mounted up. So this fender is just held up by a few screws right now just to hold it in place. But look at these things, guys. Oh my goodness, that looks so ridiculous. So these will have a 15mm spacer as well because they are a bit shy of the fitment I want. But for now, they look incredible, and let's go ahead and move on to actually fitting that properly because it is a bit off as it sits right now. So what I'm going to do to get that fitted is I'm going to get the side skirt kind of mounted up a little bit just so I can get the alignment right between the two of those, because it's kind of like a puzzle here. We need to get this to line up with the back bumper, but it also needs to line up with the side skirt, but the side skirt needs to align with the front fender. So there's a whole lot of pieces here that we need to get to align, and I think we're going to be off by a little bit. So let's start playing around with those and see where we sit. Alright, so I've been playing with this side skirt and it appears it is not lining up at all, which honestly I kind of anticipated, but let me show you guys. Right now it is aligned perfectly flush with the front fender, and we have like probably 3/4 of an inch there of just straight gap. So this fender is mostly set. I can move it maybe a 1/4 inch this way, but that's it. And the front fender I can't really move at all. So I might have to end up adding material to this later on. So I think I'm just going to leave this out for now. Try to move this up as far as I can in relation to the back bumper, and then we'll go ahead and start gluing. Alright, I got the side skirt in place with the little, there's almost like little hanger bolts that are part of the car here. So I got it in place, and our seating is okay on this side, but we are very off over there. So initially, I knew we were going to be off in terms of length here, which I can kind of do something about adding material there, but being off right here is a serious problem. I mean, like this is supposed to be flush here. So I'm going to have to get really creative again and try to move this thing around. Like I said, I can't really move this or else I won't be able to open the door. So yeah, we are running into some issues here. Since I'm fairly tight on time today, I'm gonna start sanding these fenders just to be proactive. Obviously this video is gonna be a combination of multiple days of work. For now, I'm gonna start sanding the fenders, and then after that we'll get back to actually trying to fit this stuff. And what I mean when I say sand the fenders, everything that's this gloss black is gonna have to get taken down to metal, because these panels are going to get epoxy to the car. We want a good strong seal, so we need some bare metal for that. And then once they're actually epoxy to the car, this little gap here is going to get body filled so that it's completely flush. So in order to do that, we also need to get rid of that black paint. So that's what I'm going to sand. We'll take care of that, and then we'll move on to trying to figure out these side skirts.
Alright, our rear quarter panel has been sanded. Got that baby down to bare metal, which is good. I'm going to sand a little more over there before we glue, but I also played around with the fitment, and I got it to be pretty mint. So this is what this side's lining up as right now. Pretty perfect. This part of the fender actually tucks in underneath like the body of the car here, which is kind of cool, gives it a little more support. So that's lined up beautifully. We got a little better in terms of the side skirt here. Still a little work to be done with that, but pretty close. The front, I'm just gonna have to live with the fact that this is gonna be really off and it's gonna require a lot of attention when we start body filling, but I know I'll be able to add a little bit of material right here so that this will line up at least. And then in terms of filling this gap, I don't think it will be terribly difficult to add some material here so that these line up as well. So I'm gonna play around with the side skirt more later to get it pulled up nicely and fit beautifully, but for now, this fender, I don't want to move at all anymore. I think this is the final location for it. So I'm gonna start getting ready to glue the fender to the car because the epoxy does take like 24 hours to cure. So now would be a good time for me to glue it so that while it's curing, I can try to mess around with the side skirt, see if we can get that to line up beautifully. And then we'll start tackling the other side. I mean, if we think about it, once we get this fender glued up and the side skirt kind of aligned, we're like virtually done assembling the kit. Then it's just really body work after that. And obviously we have the lip and the rear diffuser and the spoiler, but those things I could do all three in a day. This is really kind of the last big thing here. Once everything's aligned, then it's really just going over the fine details and making sure the body lines line up, which shouldn't be too difficult. So big progress, guys. So the adhesive I will be using to bond these panels to the car is this 3M. It's like a panel bonding adhesive. Pretty heavy duty stuff. Those panels, once I glue them on, will not be coming back off ever again, hopefully. So let's go ahead, get this thing opened up. Never used it before. Hopefully it's fairly straightforward, and we'll get gluing. I didn't go in crazy detail in this video on how exactly I molded the quarter panels to the car because I will be dropping another video right after this one, going super in depth on how exactly I did it, all the materials I used to do so and whatnot. So this video, it was more so just a time lapse and I show you guys how the molded fenders came out. So with that being said, I'm gonna go tackle the other side. I actually think I'm gonna tackle the side skirts last because they're kind of like the finishing touch and they will get in the way when I actually start wrapping the car. So I think after I'm done molding the other side, I'm gonna start pulling in all the corners on the kit. So the front bumper is still popping out a little bit, pull in everything. And then after that point, I might even start wrapping some pieces. I don't know exactly how far we'll get in today's video, but that is the plan for the future. Alright, we just pulled this puppy outside. I washed it off a little bit because it was coated in dust, but we have both sides completely molded. I sprayed some primer on here. Looks absolutely phenomenal. And even rubbing my hand across it, everything feels super smooth and pretty perfect. So if we take a look at the other side here, I went and I put just a couple of pieces of wrap on. I know it looks weird, but put a couple of pieces of wrap on to see if I could see any like bumps or bumps, and so far so good. We look great on this one. This one we can still see the seam from where the old paint meets the primer, but that's fine because I planned on sanding that anyway. So all in all, we're pretty good. As well as our fitment here. Fitment is great. Like we evaluated earlier, gonna have to live with this gap. Might be able to pull it in a little bit, but it's really not bad. I only showed you guys probably 1 or 2 coats of me putting on Bondo and sanding, but I kid you not, guys, I've probably been at this molding process for a solid 8 hours, and it's no joke. It is a big job, and if you really want it done perfect, it takes forever, but we want it perfect. And honestly, this is about as perfect as I can get it, being a first timer and non-expert myself. When I get the car painted later down the road, I'm gonna have everything gone over to make sure it's all perfect then, but for now it looks very good and I'm very impressed with myself. I just threw the side skirt up on this side just to have a look at it, and oh my god, guys, this thing is looking awesome. We are finally entering the final stages here. We do have tons of work left, but take a look at this thing, guys. Oh my god. There's been a ton of points throughout this build where I have felt some sort of regret for diving into this myself. There's been so many points where I have been hung up and very nervous and didn't think I could get through it, but seeing these results right here, this is what makes me keep doing it. Just makes me so happy and so proud, and honestly, the car is turning out better than I ever could have imagined, and I'm just so excited to see how it looks when we're all done. Okay, everybody, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end off today's video right there. I'm so happy we were able to get those back fenders completely molded in today's video. Definitely huge progress for the S5 yet again. And next video is just one more step closer to completion. Next video, we are gonna be fitting this awesome rear diffuser and this massive front lip to the car. And then we're gonna go ahead and paint them, and we might even throw the side skirts on for good. So definitely some more awesome content coming for the S5. I really appreciate all of you guys that have been following me in this journey. It has been a heck of a journey, and I've been having so much fun. Really do hope you guys are enjoying these videos, because I've been having a blast making them. With all that being said, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please be sure to smash that like button. Have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me, guys. Thank you so much. Peace out.